What's up guys, Kyle here again, and today is finally a proper FAQ'N Friday video. It's been a little while since I've done one of these, and I'm actually kind of really excited to address your guys' comments and questions again, so kind of miss doing these videos. Hope you enjoy. Two things before we get started. I will be announcing the winners of the giveaway for my 1-year anniversary contest next week. I will have a video up next week showing you the process of me drawing the winners and letting you guys know who gets what. So I'm really excited for that. Really excited to give some stuff back for you guys. I've also had a couple companies reach out to me that want to do some giveaways too for you guys. So we're gonna have some stuff to start giving away to you guys in the very near future. So thank you very much for your viewership. I appreciate all your guys' contributions to the channel, your interactions and everything. So everything that I can do to give back to you guys, I absolutely will. Appreciate you guys more than you know. Second, I am putting up, upon popular request, another gear tour video. I'm gonna start doing this as a yearly thing. So last year, basically at the beginning of my channel, right in the beginning of January, I did a tour of all the gear that I currently own. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that again. I've already filmed the video. It's gonna be up tomorrow. Frankly, I'm a little embarrassed because this kind of lets you guys into how much of a gear hoarder that I am. And it really, I had to organize everything before I shot the video, and it took me quite a while. And once I did, I just realized what a ridiculous amount of stuff that I have, and it's truly not necessary. So I'm gonna try to really start buckling down and getting rid of some stuff that that I have kind of convinced myself to let go of. So yeah, it's gear acquisition syndrome is a true sickness, and I suffer from it. But anyways, you guys will get to see all the stuff that I have, and then that way you can request some more content from me, what you guys would like to see on the channel, because that was the original purpose of it last year when I put the video up, to see what kind of shootouts you guys wanted to hear, what kind of speaker comparisons and everything else. So feel free to comment on that video. Let me know what content you want to see based on the stuff that you see in that video. Thanks. All right, guys, let's jump into the questions. Very first question for this episode comes from Gorn Flyin'. He asks, have you tried the Celestion Elnico creambacks for metal? I'm wondering how they will sound with a tighter response for clear note separation with very high gain. Thanks and love your channel. Thanks for the question, man. And actually, I have not tried that speaker yet. I know there are a couple people who really dig that thing for high gain tones. I just haven't had a chance to come across one yet. They are definitely not a cheap speaker, so coming across a good deal on a used one is probably gonna be a little bit tough, but I know there are certain people who really dig them. I know Reza, if you guys check out his channel at all, I know he uses them in a lot of his cabs. He really likes those things, so definitely really curious to try and check those speakers out, but I have not yet checked them out myself, and I hope to do so in the near future. But yeah, as soon as I do, you guys will see a video on it. If not a short, you'll get a full review. So yeah, not a short, you know, short video. I could put up a video of me sharding too. It happens often enough. But Andy Bungard asks, hey, while I'm sure it's been asked, I'm going to ask anyway. Do you have a favorite speaker or speaker combination? What do you use for your touring rigs versus at home? Thanks. Keep up the great content. Thank you for the question, man. That is a great question, and I think I've answered it before, but I mean, we get a lot of similar questions on here. I have no problem kind of going back and retracing steps because things do change over time. For instance, right now, my favorite speaker combo is the V30 and Redback in my Mezza Barba 4x12. I'm really digging that speaker combo. The Redback really seems to kind of like round off the oh my god, it really seems to round off the upper mids of the V30, but in a pleasing way. I mean, one of the main reasons that we all, or not we all, but you know, most people seem to like the V30 for the metal thing is it has a nice upper mid presence that really stands out in a mix. It really puts your guitar out front. But for some people, some amps and some setups, that can be too much. Like there can be way too much upper mids. It can just turn into a harsh trebly, not trebly, but upper midi trebly mess. And I've noticed that certain amps just do really well with a speaker that kind of smooths that V30 out a little bit. And I grabbed a pair of Redbacks. I had been curious about them for a while. I threw them in my Mezza Barba 4x12. That cab is a beast on its own, but man, that speaker combination just really has brought a lot of amps Words are really tough for me today. Has really brought a lot of amps into a region where I really like them, where they're big, they're full, the mids are full, and it's not overly focused in the upper mid range like it can be with so many amps. So as of right now, that is my favorite speaker combination, but things change a lot. Some other speaker combinations I like, when Bushido Code did our little Cold of Winter run not that long ago, I took my Splon cab, which has M65 creambacks and V30s top and bottom. So the M65 creambacks are up top, V30s are on the bottom. I liked that particular combination for the Splon because the Splon tends to be very MIDI. It's a very MIDI amp, especially in the upper mid region. I mean, it's based off of a 2203 circuit, so of course it's gonna be bright up there. And the M65 creamback is the darker of the two creambacks. The H75 is kind of like the brighter, more upper mid focused one. The M65 is kind of more like your traditional G12 M25, but it's just higher powered, higher headroom speaker. And because I like the M25 top and V30 bottom combo in my Friedman cab, and in my Bogner cab, I have it in a couple of cabs, I'm like, you know what, I want this, but I kind of want something with a little bit higher power handling, something that doesn't break up as early as an M25 creamback, because I do tend to like, in my live tone, a lot of percussive bass. I'm not huge on pushing all of the low end frequencies, but I really like my palm mutes to just punch. The M65 creamback just kind of holds together well under higher volumes and more of a percussive bass tone than the M25 does. So I really liked that combo in that particular cabinet for what I was doing on tour. And then the third combo, which you guys are probably gonna be kind of surprised by, but the V30 and Sheffield 1200, that is the speaker that comes in the 5150 cabs and the 6505 cabs. I think that is a great combo because that speaker was originally supposed to be modeled after a pair of Eddie's old greenbacks, but with higher power handling. Now, I've never really liked that speaker on its own, just kind of like, I don't really like the greenbacks on their own. I mean, they sound great, but I like them mixed with something a little bit more aggressive because they do tend to be just, you know, a little bit too vintage sounding for me, in my opinion, for the stuff that I like to play. So putting those Sheffields in an X pattern with the V30s really kind of gives you the best of both worlds because the Sheffield does have kind of more of a low mid focus, and it is not the tightest speaker in the world, whereas the V30 is quite tight. So you put those two together and you get the tightness and the upper mid spike of the V30, and then you get the low mids and a little bit looser, bigger low end on the Sheffield 1200, and it just creates a really nice harmony. That's a really good sounding speaker pair in my opinion. So yeah, that's what I like as far as speaker combinations, but pretty soon I'll be experimenting with some more stuff. Gonna drop some V30s in one of my Marshall cabs with the T75s and just kind of see how I like that combo. That was a popular combo for metal for a long time. The DV77 and VM1265 behind me works great with certain amps in my Omega cab. So there's lots of combinations, guys. I really like pairing a brighter, thinner speaker with a fuller, darker speaker and kind of trying to get the best of both worlds as long as they pair together without any phasing issues. So yeah, speakers. Alejandro Flow commented, he didn't ask a question, but he said, we played a few shows together going all the way back to 2008 at Sound Lab in Illinois. Good times, man. Love the channel. That's really awesome, dude. I honestly, I gotta be honest, I don't remember you. I don't remember those shows. That was a long time ago, but just to have people from the hardcore community coming on the channel and basically getting to reconnect with people that I once talked to and share some memories of past shows and stuff has been one of the coolest things about this, because there have been so many people that I've met over the years. I've played so many shows all over the place back in the hardcore days. Not that I'm not a hardcore kid anymore, I still am very much, but don't get to go out and play as much as I used to in my youth. I'm 33, so I really shouldn't be talking about my youth, but I already feel a little bit old when it comes to certain things. So, but yeah, to have some guys come back and say, hey, I remember playing with your band here and this show was crazy and everything is really cool. So Alejandro, glad to have you on the channel, man, and thanks for dropping that comment. That makes me happy. Dust Devil commented and said, hey Kyle, have you tried the Revv G2 as a boost overdrive pedal yet? Thanks for your question, man. I have not tried the Revv G2 actually. I had the Revv G3 and G4 and I did a video on them pretty much back at the beginning of my channel, and I really think that Revv did a killer job with those. They are preamp / distortion pedals. They're meant to be run in some sort of clean signal and used as your primary form of distortion. The G2, as far as I know, is more of like a crunch type of pedal because it models that channel on the Revv Generator 120. So I have not got my hands on one of those pedals yet, but maybe in the future it's something that I'll try to find and use as a boost. If you guys, anybody out there watching this, have used the Revv G2 pedal as either a preamp or a boost, what were your experience? Let me know down in the comments. That way I'll see if I think it's something that we should get on the channel here or not. But yeah, thanks for the question, man. It's something I'll look out for sure if you guys want to see it. Kid NATO asks, here is a question. Are active pickups straight edge? If so, which sound the most true till death? That is funny. If most of you guys probably are not in on the inside joke, but that is a reference to my straight edge hardcore band, Represent. And I've been in that band for 15 years now. Good Lord. Been in that band for 15 years, and a lot of people on the channel seem to recognize me from that band, so I think that that's really cool. Yeah, in my opinion, active pickups are not straight edge. Passive pickups are free from filth. Okay guys, for the last question today, Bata SSL asks, what Explorer do you play in your videos and where did you get it? That guitar that you guys have seen in many of my videos and is also the guitar that I took on tour and played every night on tour is the Balaguer Typhon, and it's actually the prototype of that model, and I now own both of those prototypes of that model, and they are Balaguer's foray into the Explorer shape, and dude, I have absolutely fallen in love with that guitar. I played it on my 5150 Iconic live stream for a little bit yesterday, and I was cycling through some other guitars, and as soon as I picked that thing up, I was like, this thing just is incredible. So it is the Balaguer Typhon prototype. You guys can now go onto Balaguer's website and you can order those. You can do a semi-custom select, I think is their name for their custom orders. You can spec it out the way you want, the scale length, the wood, the top, the finish, the pickups. Literally, you can spec out everything if you go to Balaguer Guitar's website. But the prototype model that I have is I believe it's a mahogany body with a mahogany neck. It's got an ebony fretboard, stainless steel frets. It's got 22 frets. It is a 25.5 inch scale guitar. It has the brand new Hypernova pickups from Balaguer, which are a modern ceramic high output pickup. Think kind of like a Nazgul, but not as annoying. In my opinion, I'm not a huge fan of the Nazgul. I generally like what it does, but it seems like it's just got too much of an upper mid hump to the point where it just kind of sounds like can every time I play it. So it just hasn't been my favorite pickup, but the Hypernova kind of reminds me of that, but that upper mid hump is smoothed out. It's still pretty present in the upper mids, but it's not to that point where things sound like clanky and weird. So really good sounding, really clear, articulate, and punchy pickup. That guitar was great for me on tour, man. The locking tuners and everything, it just stayed in tune super, super well. I think most sets I had to tune maybe once, and I hammer on my strings. I move around a lot when I play. I sweat a lot when I play. So yeah, that thing was rock solid on tour. I took my Gibson Explorer, didn't even have to break it out of the case, and I also ended up picking a Dunable R2DE up at Chicago Music Exchange, which is an awesome guitar and I love as well, but I didn't have to break that out either because, like I said, man, the Typhon was just doing it for me. So if you're into the Explorer style shapes, Balaguer now has an option for you. I would go to their website and check it out. I'm not affiliated with Balaguer in any way. I just think that guitar is absolutely rad and has definitely... Balaguer guitars overall have exceeded my expectations. I waited a really long time to try them, and then I bought my Espada over the summer, and of course Joe is a homie, but I bought that without him knowing, and kind of surprised him with a little video on it just to show my appreciation because he has helped me out a lot with this channel. Joe, you are the man. But yeah, the Balaguer Typhon, ever since I got that thing, man, that's the first guitar I reach for when I go to play anything at this point, so I really, really dig that thing. Thanks for the question, because any chance I get to talk about that guitar, I'm gonna take it. So with that being said, that is going to wrap it up for today's FAQ'N Friday. If you guys have questions for the next episode, please do me a favor, put them down below in the comments and I will be sure to get to as many of them as I can. Really appreciate your guys' viewership. Hope to be able to give back to you guys as much as possible this year. The channel, my goal for last year was to reach 8,000 subs by the end of December. Here I am at 9,000 subs in the beginning of January, so we crushed that. Thank you so much. If you want to support the channel, down in the description of this video are my Sweetwater affiliate link and my Patreon link. My Patreon has gotten to the point now where every month I am going to start buying a pedal of your guys' choosing. I'm gonna let my Patreon members vote on that. I am going to demo it and then I'm gonna give it away to one of my Patreon members. So thank you guys so much for your support. I really appreciate it. You can also become a member of the Belligerent Amateur community and watch me spit all over myself while I talk even more by joining my Discord server and my Facebook group, both linked down below in the description. If you like the video, hit that like button on your way out. It greatly helps me with the almighty YouTube algorithm. And then consider subscribing to the channel so you don't miss any more of my goofy face talking at you. Kyle here again. Have a great weekend, guys. Thanks so much for watching.